Hey first grade, welcome back. Today we have a super fun project. If you're watching this, we've probably already read The Rainbow Fish, and today we are going to be starting a project where you get to create your own type of fish. There are so many different types of fish out there. Raise your hand if you've ever been to an aquarium. Okay, so I hope that all of you get a chance to go to an aquarium at some point in your life. It's a lot of fun to get to see the different organisms. Fish come in a lot of different colors, and there's also a lot of different types of fish that you may already know. I think that the ocean is beautiful, and I'm excited to see how you're going to be inspired by some of the images that we're going to look at. Every day, we're going to take a look at a different fish and discuss what we think about them and maybe how they're different from other species of fish. You may even recognize some fish like these two, which kind of look like the fish from Finding Nemo or Finding Dory. Okay, so take a look at this image. Oh my goodness, this shark looks like it is really hungry. This is called a basking shark, but I was amazed when I looked at it because the mouth is so huge. What do you think this mouth is so big for? Go ahead and raise your hand and then we'll discuss. In our oceans and even in our lakes too, you'll find little species called plankton. Say plankton. So just like the little guy in SpongeBob, there's these tiny little organisms, kind of like germs, in the water that are really tiny and it's really hard to see them. This basking shark swims around with its big mouth open like this to collect all the little plankton inside of its mouth. And so it's actually eating while swimming and eating all these tiny planktons. You should have walked in with two things: a piece of paper and a pencil. Let's take a moment and sharpen our pencils. Give me a thumbs up once you're ready, and then we'll begin. Today, what we're gonna do is we're going to label the parts of a fish, and then you're gonna get a chance to design your own fish, which we will then use oil pastel to color, just like the rainbow fish. So be thinking about what kind of fish you wanna do. This obviously isn't done, but be thinking of ways that you can make it unique. It doesn't have to be a real fish, it can be a fish that you made up all by yourself. Now that our pencils are sharpened, let's go ahead and write our name in the bottom left-hand corner of the paper. I'm gonna write Mr. Boatfield because that is my name, but if you have your own name, go ahead and write it there. We're also gonna write our class code right next door. I'm gonna pause the video and tell you your class code now. All right. Now, before we do anything, I wanna give you a choice. Some fish are kind of tiny and circular. Some fish are very long and ovally. I'm gonna leave it up to you. I'm gonna do a little bit of both. I'm gonna do kind of a circly oval. And that's gonna be the body of my fish. Go ahead and decide whether you want an oval or a circle and go ahead and draw. Now you wanna leave some area for the eyes, the fins, the tail. I would probably leave a hand away from the side of the paper. So draw in the center and then give me a thumbs up once you have it. If you mess up at any time today, you can always flip this over and try it on the back. All right, so now our fish needs something to see. What could that be? Hope you said an eye. Here's how I like to do it. If you do it your own way, that's fine too. I like to draw a little circle and then I draw an itty bitty circle on the inside. I'm gonna color it in. And then, well, you know what? I'm gonna be creative. Maybe my fish has an eyelid. Maybe it's a girl fish and it has eyelashes. Or it's a boy fish, I don't know. It's kind of up to you. Go ahead and draw an eye and then we will continue on. All right, so before we go on to do the lips and the fins and the tail, I want you to draw an arrow pointing to the eye. Then I want you to write the word for eye, and I'll zoom in a little bit. We're gonna write E, Y, E. Go ahead and write I, and then draw a little arrow. I'll pause the video now. Okay, so now it's time to do those lips, those kissy fish lips. Now, you can do them a few different ways. Some people like to do their fish with a little smile. I'm not gonna do that, but you can do that if you want to. Some people just put 2 little circles. That's okay too. I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna put the little smile, and then I'm also gonna give it some luscious, kissable fish lips. Oh, how amazing. Once you've done that, give me a thumbs up, and then we will label it. Okay, so I have my lips. I'm just gonna erase a little bit right here so it looks a little bit more normal. And then I'm going to draw an arrow pointing right to the mouth, and you are going to write mouth. Each fish has a mouth. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see. M-O-U-T-H. Go ahead and label this mouth. All right, very good. Now, our fish is looking a little strange right now. It needs fins on the top, fins on the bottom, and also a tail. Here's a picture of the parts of the fish. Right now we have the eye, the mouth. We're gonna get to the gill, but I wanna work on the fins. Notice that fish have fins kind of everywhere. Like a shark, they have a fin on top, and they also have a fin on the bottom. They also have a fin on their side, so be thinking about what shape you wanna do. This is technically a triangle. It looks like more like a melted triangle, but you can do your fins and tail however you want. Let's start with the fins first. So I'm gonna put a fin on the top, fin on the bottom. I'm gonna start with the one on the bottom. If you wanna make it easy for yourself, just do a wavy line that turns into a kind of crooked triangle. That's how I like to do them. Maybe you could even do some little details. Or, you know what? Maybe I'm feeling really crazy and I'm gonna do a fancy, oh, beautiful fin. So fancy. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Once you have a fin on the top and a fin on the bottom, give me a thumbs up and we will continue on. All right, now it is time to do the fin in the middle. So we're gonna draw a little shape. I'm gonna just do a little normal fin. Doesn't have to be any specific shape, maybe yours is your own. Now we need to label our fin. You don't have to label all 3. Maybe draw an arrow to your biggest fin and write the word for fin. It's really easy. It's just 3 letters, F-I-N. Go ahead and label it fin. Alrighty guys, now we need to do the gills. The gill is real easy. Just draw yourself a big ol' backwards C. That's the gills. So remember, fish live underwater. They're not like us where they breathe air. They breathe in the water and they take the oxygen from the water using their gills. So draw a little arrow somewhere around, maybe I'm gonna put it over here so I have some space, and you're gonna write the word for gill. It's really easy, G-I-L-L. I'll pause the video so that you can go ahead and label. Okay, we are almost done. We're gonna do the tail, add some scales, and then I'm gonna leave it up to you what kind of colors you want to do. Now, some people when they do the tail, they just like to do kind of a little triangle. That's fine. If that's how you want to do your fish, that's cool with me. I am not gonna do it that way. I think I'm gonna keep on doing the fancy fish kind of look. So my tail is gonna be, oof, so fancy. Oh my gosh, just the most beautiful fish in the world. The beautiful fish girl. Oh my gosh, so fancy. You can do yours however you want. Maybe it has multiple tails. Maybe it has the longest tail in the world. Remember, this fish does not have to be real. You can always go back and add some more detail. Let's go ahead and take a minute to draw ourselves a tail, and then we will begin. All right, so hopefully you have the tail. I'm gonna show you how to do the scales, and then I'm gonna leave the rest up to you. When I draw the scales, I make it really easy for myself. I move the paper so that the eye is looking towards me. Oh my gosh, a fish is looking at me, how weird. I'm going to now do wavy like the ocean lines. So inside the body, you're gonna draw wavy like the ocean lines. And then just keep it going. And it looks a lot like scales. Here's the thing though. do fish have scales on their eyes? I hope you said no. They do not have scales on their eyes. You can do scales on the fins if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. But the only place where I don't really want to see any scales is the eyes, because I want you to make a fish. Can your fish see if they have scales on their eyes? No, poor fish would be so sad not to be able to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue filling up his face full of scales. Okay, last thing I want you to do is we're going to label the tail T-A-I-L. Give me a thumbs up so we can move on to color. Color, baby, color. Okay, great job. So I'm gonna leave it up to you how you wanna color. This is our plan for a fish that we're gonna do next time. I decided to go with the whole rainbow look and use all the colors. We're gonna be using oil pastel, but you can start planning out your fish today. So I'm gonna use crayon, but you can use marker. And you know what? I'll even have some color pencil on the middle table for you if you wanna do that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and color some scales, some different colors. You can even think about now maybe some bubbles coming out. You can go back and add bubbles. You could do some seaweed. Ooh la la. But you know what? You can even do some more fish. Maybe this fish has little fish babies or laid eggs. I don't know. Maybe it's Finding Nemo and it's looking for his dad. I have no idea. It's totally up to you how you want to decorate your fish and make your ocean. Some people even decided to put some wavy like the ocean lines, as if the fish was coming up for a bit of air and then to go back down. It's totally up to you. I'm gonna quickly do mine in fast mode and then we're going to leave it up to you what you wanna do. Once you finish coloring, raise your hand so I can come check it out, and then you can put away your supplies and choose a new activity. iPads are not available today. Have a good one, guys.